right, what's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics. The NBA Finals. As I'm recording this video, it hasn't started yet. I'm assuming I'm posting this the Thursday before the finals. But interesting thought came to my head, and it kind of came to me on stream. The Unfiltered Sports Podcast, best sports podcast on YouTube, best sports podcast ever, best sports show out there. Make sure to check it out every Sunday. And my co-host CEO, who's a Boston Celtics fan, was talking about, and this is before the finals, he was saying if the Celtics lose to the Pacers, which they didn't, or if they lose to the Mavericks, that they should blow it up. And I'm thinking to myself, is that possible? Would the Boston Celtics really blow up the team? Because I look at the Boston Celtics roster up and down, maybe besides the bench, which I mean they can find somebody in free agency to come off the bench next year, this offseason. I mean, come on. That's not that hard to upgrade the bench. And their bench is not even that bad, looking at it. But as they go into this finals, could Jaylen Brown be the problem? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, RJ, how can Jaylen Brown be the problem? He just won the Eastern Conference MVP, this, that, and the third, all this other good stuff. I'm not saying I would trade Jaylen Brown, but let's be for real. Out of Tatum and Brown, the Celtics are going to choose Jaylen Brown. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jason Tatum is the face of Boston. I'm going to keep it real with you. He's a better player than Jaylen Brown. He might not play as better deep. I mean, Tatum has his flaws, like every player has their flaws, but at the same time, everybody has their flaws. No one's perfect. Only perfect enemy is the Most High himself. Everything and everyone else, including myself, is a distant 2 or 3. But Tatum, how can I put this? I think Tatum's just more skilled than Brown. That left hand. I'm sorry, that left hand has to be. I'm sorry, someone has to observe Jaylen Brown's left hand. It causes so many turnovers. It's the fact that, number one, he can't dribble with it. Number two, he's so insecure about him not dribbling with it. He goes out his way to prove that he can dribble. But the problem is he causes turnovers. Defense, even though I do think Jaylen Brown's slightly better on defense, Tatum's defense is not bad. When Tatum wants to lock down somebody, he can. Jason Tatum's longer. He's faster. He's taller. So he can play defense. But at the same time, like that left hand is like, come on, man. It's beyond ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like, could he be the one to go? Because they're not trading Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's the face of their company. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Jason Tatum, I mean, there's a lot of people who know, maybe not in, I mean, a lot of casual fans know Jason Tatum more than Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? But let's be for real. If in the Celtics, one thing, the Celtics, even though I'm a Knicks fan, I hate the Celtics, obviously. But the one thing I can say about the Celtics is that they can pull off trades. They can pull off trades that we don't know about. And I said this on stream. What if the Celtics trade Jaylen Brown for De'Aaron Fox? That would be a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade over Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? That would be a huge upgrade over Jaylen Brown. Devin Booker. Now, granted, Devin Booker doesn't play as, even my co-host CEO said it, Devin Booker doesn't play as good defense as Jaylen Brown. But I mean, bro, Porzingis. You have Porzingis, and that's what you have Porzingis and Jrue Holiday and Jason Tatum to do. Devin Booker's not the best on defense, but at the same time, as long as he can stay in front of his man, and as long as you have Porzingis and whoever else at the hoop to defend if they blow past Devin Booker, you'll be fine. Also, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum's one of Jason Tatum's best friends. Jason Tatum's Olympian brother. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Durant's a veteran. He can score. He can obviously dribble his left hand. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine following the lead of Jason Tatum or Joe Muslim, whoever the leader on that team is. But I'm just sitting back thinking, if the Boston Celtics lose this series, someone is gonna get the blame, and I think it's gonna fall on Jaylen Brown's head, because at the same time, Jaylen Brown has been in multiple trade rumors throughout his tenure with the Celtics. And now this is the year. This free agency is going to be the year where they can finally trade him, because they signed him last season and they couldn't trade him last season. They couldn't trade him this season. Now I think he's available to trade. I could be wrong about that. For all the Celtics fans, CEO, Rozier, Kaiju, whoever else can correct me on that. But at the same time, I mean, can you see, and all of you guys, can you guys see Jaylen Brown getting traded? Would you want Jaylen Brown to get traded for De'Aaron Fox or a Booker or Kevin Durant or someone, a Zach LaVine, a DeRozan, another two? Like, who would you, if hypothetically speaking, number one, and this goes for everybody, especially if you're a Celtics fan. Number one, can you see Jaylen Brown getting traded? And number two, who would you trade him for if they were to lose this finals? Because I do believe someone's going to get the blame. Drew Holiday just signed, so not trading him. They just got Porzingis, so not trading him. Derek White, I think they just signed Derek White. And plus Derek White, let's be fair, he's at best a good role player. And I mean, Derek White does his job. And Jason Tatum's the face of that team. So I do think it will all lie on Jaylen Brown's shoulders, because the Celtics should win this finals. But let's be for real. The Celtics, they could lose this finals. Once again, I picked the Celtics to win, but I could definitely see them losing in 7 games. This Mavericks team is pretty good. Way more impressive than what I thought. I'll say that they are way more impressive than what I thought. But at the same time, someone's going to get the blame. You already know when a team loses in the finals, someone gets the blame. I mean, the last time y'all went to the finals, Marcus Smart got the boot. Granted, he got the boot for a good reason. Robert Williams got the boot. Granted, there's still a good chance you guys could sign Robert Williams, have him come off the bench next year as a backup for Porzingis, or move Porzingis to the 4 and have Robert Williams at the 5. I think that's what I would do. But at the same time, I can definitely see the Celtics pulling off a trade for De'Aaron Fox, especially a De'Aaron Fox, because that's a so underrated move. But, I can see Jaylen Brown getting the brunt of the loss in the finals, because that's what he's been doing throughout this whole career with the Celtics. The Celtics have been putting this guy in trade rumors after trade rumors after trade rumors after trade rumors. When, I mean, yeah, it's not his fault. But at the same time, I mean, Jason Tatum is a better player than him. Everybody else is a role player. Jaylen Brown's the only entity that you have that's tradable to get a De'Aaron Fox or something like that, maybe a few first rounders. Because let's be fair, the Celtics, they don't care about their draft picks. They're in win now mode, especially in the East, which is weak. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. That's my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know. If the Celtics lose, and this is all, hypothetical, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to last until the finals, you know what I'm saying? But this is all hypothetical. If the Celtics lose in the finals, who will get the brunt? Who will get the brunt of the loss? And number two, would it be Jaylen Brown? And could you see Jaylen Brown getting traded from the Boston Celtics? I've been thinking about it, and I'm just saying, like, I think he will get the brunt of the final, especially if he's the ones causing turnovers. I could definitely see Jaylen Brown getting a big head of himself, and because he won the Eastern Conference champion, and he wants to, show himself out that he can cause a lot of turnovers. And also, people don't talk about this. Jaylen Brown is kind of a ball hog. I ain't gonna cap. People think Jason Tatum's a ball hog. I think, and this might be a hot take, I don't know, and it's Kaiju, Rozier, CEO, anybody who's a Celtics fan can let me know. Is it me, or does Jaylen Brown ball hog? Because throughout the Celtics games I've seen throughout the regular season and in the playoffs, when I see him dribble, I see him pass up like wide open threes. I see him pass up someone in the paint that's open for him to get a dunk, or for him to prove that he can dribble with his left hand. I don't know. That just could be me, but it is what it is. That's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ out.